off! Welcome to the 42nd episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with the amazing Rizky. Say hello, Rizky.
Hello.
All right, and today we have even more exciting information to share with you guys because, you know, winter is come and gone, even though it's still a little bit cold, but it is time for spring. And we're going to start off spring with a bang. We have the Brave Spring campaign for 2019 this year. Very exciting. We have, as you guys can see on the screen, we have Ensataya, we have Nangwan Mu, and we also have Juno Seto, the ladies of spring, of Brave Frontier, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know, the only thing that's coming on for spring. Do we have any more details we can share, Rizky?
Well, at this point of time, we don't really have much details, but I can tell you guys that first thing is that, as usual, we are going to have the login campaign, where just by logging in to the game, you guys can get a lot of rewards, summon ticket, gems, Omni materials, and you can also get there will be like a Spring Paradise daily dungeon, where you can collect the tokens and you can exchange for limited Spring Elf gift.
All right, sounds good.
And finally, I mean, these three ladies will be featured in one of the special spring summons. So stick around for more details on the spring campaign, maybe around early of March.
Right.
Yep.
And we also have a brand new unit who's joining these three spring ladies. Not necessarily in the same summer game, but you know, in the same season. This new unit will also celebrate spring, and the new unit is called Miell. And Miell is a fawn. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with fawns, but if you've seen like plenty of fantasy movies, you might have ran into one or two. So Miell is actually a very interesting unit in the fact that she kind of had to go from a peaceful type of life to a life of fighting just to survive, because even though there had been a balance before, you know, human nature is such that we always seek to expand, and we always seek to, you know, grow farther, go beyond. And it's not necessarily good for everyone. It's good for humankind in a way, but you know, we also have to remember that nature does exist, and there are things in nature that deserve a home as well. And Miell was found in this predicament, and so she kind of had to go from a very peaceful life to a life of fighting and survival.
War. So,
you know, pretty deep unit here. And her design is it's very adorable. It's definitely very spring. I'm assuming, obviously, that she's an earth unit with all of this foliage going on. But I think it's very different from what we've seen so far from other units. What do you think of her, Rizky?
Yeah, I think the design is, especially if you see the Omni version, when she's like just standing on like this tree stump or something. She looks like, you know, like kind of like a very kind-hearted spirit there, like, and I can foresee that she's going to like do some kind of like long range magic attack or something like that. Right.
She's definitely the mage kind. I mean, her weapon is obviously a wand in her lower rarity, but you can see that she kind of turns into the typical fawn accessory, which is the flute. For her Omni form. So she kind of gets, you know, the best of both worlds. It could be that she used, you know, she cut up her wand and then she fashioned it into a flute. We don't know, but it's very interesting.
It looks like she's going to be a good support unit as well. I mean, from the looks of it.
Yeah, and a very adorable one at that. So can't wait for Miell to join us in the spring. Very exciting. And also to come for around the springtime, right? We are going to have a brand new grand quest for Ymir.
Wow.
Now, the key word here is, I guess, episodic, right? Because these grand quests are going to be released, you know, kind of by episodes, like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, however many there are. But this one is going to follow the events of the Everlasting Embrace. So the fates of Juno, Seto, and Ensataya have since been lost to, you know, the annals of time, but not for much longer. We're finally going to find out a little bit more about what's going on here. And so in these upcoming grand quests, we're going to discover the true past and the mysterious Sero-Anya.
Oh.
Which, you know,
And
Sataya, Juno Seto is kind of like the same wording pattern, right? Same naming pattern. Assist Balefear as the threads of this fate come together. So we can see Balefear here at the bottom. He might be a little tiny on the screen, but Wolfman, I guess, is my nickname for him now. And then we can unravel Zaria's premonitions about her own death, which is very grim, but I think that's the tragedy of being very wise and very knowledgeable about everything in the world, is that you have to accept that these things are natural and that they come, and especially if you can see into the future, then it's kind of inevitable that you can see this coming as well. But how did Zeruia feel? How did it come to be? We're gonna find out by playing this grand quest here. The background looks absolutely lovely. The art team doing an excellent job at these new units and setting the scenery, for the fantasy, the whole story. Very, very nice. We can see Sero-Anya here at the bottom, but the cool thing about Sero-Anya is that she's also coming to the summon gate, because she is going to be a summon unit that you can take advantage of during this grand quest. You're playing the grand quest, you want to be in character, then you probably want to get this unit so that you feel the complete story developing. Now, being the lore goddess that I am, I would like to very much share with you guys more information about Sero-Anya, but I have been specifically asked not to. We are going to keep her mysterious. I've already said enough about, the naming pattern of her name. I think her looks really say a lot just by themselves, like the combination of colors and, the flowiness of her hair and
that's right,
everything happening around her, wink, wink, like I'll let you guys arrive to your own conclusions until you can get your hands on this unit, or until you play the Grand Quest mission and you can see the story develop for yourself, but I don't want to ruin it. So, gonna leave it at that. Risky, what do you think of Sero-Anya's design?
It's just so lovely, and like I'm kind of like a weak on this kind of like clothes style, like a very elegant
material.
While it's very cute as well. Sorry, my otakuness, but I really love the touch on the Omni version of her, like those flowers and crystals. It's just like like Juno Seto and Sataya was a little bit more like magical, and it's kind of like I don't know, like especially and Sataya was like really like kind of like giving a very scary vibe.
Right.
Very, I don't know, like but Sero-Anya is kind of like giving this a very friendly. I don't know whether she's a goddess or some kind of spirit or something. We have to see the actual lore when it was released. But I mean, I'll let everyone speculate who is she actually, like, and what is her relation with Juno and Ensa.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, right? Who is she? Why is she here? She seems very in tune with nature. I love the rainbow sphere that's kind of like encapsulating her in the middle there. But she's obviously, even like her bare feet, it just really shows a connection to, the earth that she walks on, nature. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what exactly is her influence in nature and in Ymir, the world that she probably lives in. I mean, if the Grand Quest is happening there. I'm just, putting two and two together. I'm not saying this is like fact or whatever, but. So yeah, very exciting indeed. Looking forward to Sero-Anya coming to Brave Frontier. Now let's move on to our next topic, which is Risky. You want to take it away?
Yes. So let's move on to the next our next regular content, which is Raid Battle Class 7. So as you guys know, we have did some changes and improvements in the previous Raid Battle RC7 based on our initial feedback for the users. So for example, one of the changes that we did was for the promotion missions. So we did observe the data, like how many players are joining the promotion missions, and we found out that promotion missions might be a little bit too difficult for some of our users. Not so much for our core users, which is like you guys got like a very good mono squad ready. But some of our middle level users or are not like strong enough to fight this on the promotion missions. So we had removed the element requirement for the promotion mission. So now you can use any squads that you want. Of course, using the mono squad are still be a better option. But in the case where you don't have enough mono squad, you can always use like an extra a unit of other elements to help you on that. And one of the new thing that we added as well, which is the novice missions. This might be by the time of the release of this video, it might have been implemented or might not yet. Maybe will be like early March or end of February. But the novice missions will be basically intended for the players for players who don't have strong enough unit to actually get a chance to collect the tokens and materials as well. So this is will be available alongside the 2 main RC7 missions. So as you guys know, there are 2 sets of missions with different degree of difficulty. Novice mission is the sense of like the easiest one among all of these 3. And by playing these novice missions, you can actually obtain tokens to purchase this special companion Omni units. So what is this companion Omni units doing? It's actually an existing unit that you can purchase and you can use in your squad, and you can also use it in other game modes as well. But the main purpose of this unit are actually to help you to complete your mono squad. So let's say, when you are going to RC7, because the RC7 direction is like like fighting the bosses with mono elemental squad, and if you happen to be lacking of like, I have 4 strong thunder element, but I'm lacking of 1, then you can play these novice missions to actually redeem the companion unit, and you can use this companion unit in your squad to help you complete basically complete your mono squad requirement.
All right, sounds good.
The graphic will be pretty simple. Like these characters kind of like looks like a mini golem by itself, a mini guardian. But it's going to be useful, especially for players who are like like not strong enough or not having enough mono elemental unit in their squad. Cool. So so that's about the changes and improvements that we did. So the next will be for the March. There will be two more season coming in, Earth and Thunder RC7. So in the Earth and Thunder, you can only bring mono fire and mono Earth squad for each of them, and there will be 3 missions for each element with increasing difficulty. So the first mission was the novice mission that we discussed just now, and the rewards will be the upgrade of the nature shield and Bayer's armor, and you can also get RC7 tokens that you can change for various enhancement, Omni Plus materials, and guild token and guild relic as well.
All right.
So are you excited for the next RC7, Shelly?
Yeah, I mean, I finished the first mission of RC7, and then I tried the second one several times, and my mono team was not strong enough, so I think I need to rework who exactly is in my squad at this point. So I'm halfway there. I'm looking forward to the next. I think raid is a little bit different, especially from like rifts and stuff like that, and that I feel a little bit more confident using my mono squad. Just because there's not as much strategy involved, I guess. Like the rifts are very kind of like systematic. Like you have to know when to guard and when to do this. And raid is kind of more like you can go all out and you might be okay. So I need to just cultivate my squads a little bit better, I think. And I need to assess who is there and who is not. But if I'm missing a spot, I can always try to exchange for a new companion, get myself a new unit, and see if that helps me out. So I'll try whatever I can to make sure that I'm pulling forward. So I'm definitely looking forward to the new battles ahead.
All right, so with this RC7 Earth and Thunder, there will be also a new unit, Great Summon unit coming. Shelly, can you introduce him?
I think his name is Czorag.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, Brave Frontier units are just notorious for having the most difficult names in the world for
Yeah.
some reason. So I think his name is Czorag, and I think his element is fire. Is it fire or is it dark?
It looks like fire to me, but it
Yeah, I
could be
think
dark.
it's fire. It's just a little bit difficult to, we're so used to seeing the same colors for the same units that are of a particular element. And when we try to put a different spin on them, sometimes it gets confusing, but I think he's a fire unit. However, he's also a demonic entity from like a hellish dimension. So, I think he might spew out fire, but his heart is very dark.
Maybe.
He's kind of like a mix of two things, but he was called forth through some dark rituals that were made in the Aruba Civil War. So I think you can see that his lore is going to be kind of intricate because he looks like a machine, but he's a hellish entity. And at the same time, his weapon seems to be calling forth, not necessarily like a technology, but some kind of mystic power, like magic even, I guess you could say. So a very intricate, very intriguing, I guess I should say, combination of different aspects of each type of thing. So you got a little bit of magic, you got a little bit of mysticism, you got a little bit of like high-tech gadgets and armor. I don't know what to expect from him, but he looks really cool. I very much enjoyed this design. What do you think, Risky?
Yeah, I think it really like in rhyme with Aurebe's kind of like design.
Definitely. Yeah.
Kind of like you see this kind of combination of technology and magic, where you can see robot metals and stuff, but there are like a magic circle, and the attack was like it's kind of like I did check on his animations. It's just like so fantastic.
Really?
Like one shot, huge flame coming from him. It's like it's giving me like a kind of like a very sci-fi.
Yeah, for sure.
Still like magical.
Yeah, and I love those like
Really.
cable dreadlocks that he has going on. Those are amazing.
It's really cool.
Total
I think kudos to our art team again
Yes.
for thinking of this kind of design.
They keep making all of these amazing units. I can't keep up with all of them, but they're beautiful to look at. So I'm always excited when I see any type of new art, especially if I get to vote on it. I'm like, I'm here. I want to see all of it. So. All right, cool. Well, that's it for Czorag there. Looking forward to him joining. Did you want to proceed with maybe some guild talk, perhaps?
Yeah. So another guild event that we are going to run in this in March will be the Frontier Reef guild event rerun, Essence of Time. So currently, this is the rerun of the previous one where it gives you. You can prepare your squads against Earth and Thunder enemies, and you help Alina to save the Time Weaver from. Sorry, you can help Alina's Protogenia to save the Time Weaver from the crazed demigod Draeger.
Yeah.
And as usual, you can work with your guild to earn Reef Mementos since this is for a rerun. And you can redeem the guild score milestones such as Orphira, unique ES sphere for Aurelia, and you can also get the Omni Plus materials. And you can also change your Reef Mementos to Reef tokens. So this is a good chance for you guys to get the unique ES sphere for Aurelia, then strengthen the unit as well.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So in case anyone is wondering like where is the new Frontier Reef guild event, it is in the making at the moment. So hopefully in the next BNC we can share with you guys more about the next new Frontier Reef rerun. But for those who missed the Frontier Reef, there's always a rerun like of the past Frontier Reef. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. You get a second chance. So maybe by then you have acquired some new units that can really help you move farther into the Rift.
Right, that's correct.
So I know that I've done better every single time that I do a rerun, compared to the first time that I attempted it. I've gotten much farther each time. So this is another one that I have not completed all the way to the end. I think this is the one with like the trees that don't want to die. Those trees just make me really angry. So We'll see how I do this time around, but of course, I'm up for the challenge. I'm definitely up for the challenge.
All right. So shall we move to the next event, shall we?
Yeah, so moving on, we have our final Vortex arena for Season 3, which is the Tenebrous Showdown, of course, being the Dark Element Vortex Arena. As always, there's going to be fabulous rewards. You'll get exclusive L gifts. If you get from rank 1 to 1,500, you'll get the gift Oath of Power. From rank 1,501 to 6,000, you will get Tenacious Will. And in the event bazaar, you'll be able to exchange for an Umbra Wing. So, you know, all kinds of spheres for you await if you just work hard at the Vortex Arena. You know, just make sure that you're using up all of your orbs. Hopefully you're not losing too much sleep. You know, if you just make sure you plan it out so that you can use your orbs while you're awake. Don't try to don't cut yourself short on sleep just to do Vortex Arena. But of course, with the Dark Element Vortex Arena, we have the final Battle Maiden, which is Lico.
Wow.
And Lico here is going from, you know, her 7-star form to Omni, and she's just Queen of the Night.
Fantastic.
She is the #1 representative of what a goth lolly master of darkness should look like. And needless, what's that?
She's the first goth lolly in the sense in Brave Frontier.
Yeah, I think so. I think she set that trend. I honestly think she's probably, at least on the global side of things, for sure. Like, she was there before everybody else setting that trend. And you know, she's fairly popular as well, I think, because it's a very Japanese cultural how can I explain it? It's not necessarily a trend because not everybody is doing it, but it's an aspect of Japanese culture that is known outside in the Western world, and people very much look up to this type of style, and they think it's very cute and very adorable. So it's very Japanese in that sense, which is very interesting to me.
Right.
But you know, despite all of the hearts and all the cuteness that she shows, she's actually the most bloodthirsty of all the maidens. And I mean that quite literally. I mean, she has a bunch of bats around her that are probably thirsting for blood, but she as well has always just been very attracted to battle, and she's always wanted to just, you know, destroy everything around her. So now it's her time to get it done.
Right.
Yeah, what do you think of the new and improved Lico, Risky?
I think I just love the design. I think especially those big moon at the back.
Yeah, I love it.
That's just give her the vibe of Queen of the Night or something.
Yes, it really does.
And you can see that her weapon itself, the kind of the dagger or something was
it's like a dagger revolver.
Yeah, dagger and revolver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I think players are really waiting for her. I think she's one of the most popular next to Vanilla. So yeah, here we go, guys. This is Lico for you.
Yeah, I mean, and she doesn't disappoint with her aura.
Yep.
If all of this is included in her sprite, it's gonna take up the whole screen.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, classic Brave Frontier back at it again with the huge, uncontainable auras.
Right.
Well, you guys look forward to Lico coming up in that Vortex Arena Tenebrous Showdown. But we also have another person that many people have been waiting for. As you guys can probably see on the slide, everybody's been wondering, where is Mikael? What happened to Mikael? Where is his Omni evolution? And we're here to tell you that it's here! Yay!
Whoa!
Mikael is getting his Omni evolution. I absolutely love this design.
Yeah.
You know, we just got done talking about Lico. Her Omni actually went, you know, out of control, and now her sprite is bigger than it's ever been. But for Mikael, he's remained very simple, very clean, And I think very true to his personality, because he's just that responsible guy that likes everything to be in order and everything to be organized. He establishes the peace, you know? And I think the sprite says it all. He looks absolutely amazing. What do you think of this sprite, Rizky?
Oh man, just the armor design and the weapon design is just so fantastic. And you know, this time around he actually take out his helmet and the hair looks awesome.
Well, now he just looks more beautiful than ever.
Yeah.
You know, because the helmet, you know, being the good soldier that he is, he follows the instructions. He's like, somebody hits me over the head with a blunt instrument, I could get really hurt, so I should wear my helmet. This Mikael's like, I think nobody's gonna hit me because I'm just that skilled that nobody can lay a hand on me, so I think I can forego the helmet, but I'll just build up my other armor and I'll just make my shield this amazing, like, warrioress or warrior looking, you know, face on it. And I'll add some super cool wings to my sword and just call it a day. You know, you have to pick and choose where you want your armor to stand out the most. And I think he looks absolutely amazing.
So looking forward for him.
Yeah, it's
update.
Great, beautiful. And I love like the golden wing of thunder that's coming out his back as well. It's absolutely amazing. I'm very much looking forward to Mikael coming as well. Hopefully you guys are excited to hear the continuation of his story. Mikael has a very complicated past as well. So it's always very exciting to keep seeing these units develop in the world of Brave Frontier.
All right.
Okay, well that does it for all of the updates. Please stay tuned for the Summoner's Corner coming up next. All right, it is time for the Summoner's Corner, where you guys send us your shout-outs or your questions, and then Rizky is kind enough to answer all of your concerns and worries for you. We're gonna start with number one here. Perpetual Zephyr sends us a question asking if you know the true OG characters of Brave Frontier. We're talking Seria, we're talking Carl and Lugina and Tillith. Is there any chance that we will ever see an Omni version of these characters, whether it be like through a trial or something else? Like, is that a possibility, Rizky?
Yeah, actually, I can't promise anything at the moment, but this has been in discussion with the team, and we are definitely cooking up on the what kind of proposal, like in terms of like the Omni version. But the team is really interested in making the Omni version of them. Of course, we still have to get it checked and approved by Elim. So no promise on this, but definitely our team is working on this direction. As for when it is coming, definitely we will share with you guys in one of the BNC if we have it confirmed. But yeah, the team would like to extend those characters into like their Omni version as well.
Okay, that would be great. But before we do that one, I would like to remind you that we got permission to do Omni Priscilla a very long time ago. And to this day, people still ask me. Like, I'll be hanging out on Discord and people are like, hey, Shali, where's Omni Priscilla? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I really don't know. So, so the OG unit should definitely get an Omni, but I mean, we never promised that we would make an Omni Priscilla. We just got permission to make her. But, you know, they have not forgotten, Rizky. They have not forgotten.
Yes, I know.
So we might want to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Perpetual Zephyr, for that question. Moving on to number 2 by Matt Mayfield. Now, Matt has a concern regarding the latest rift, Drowning Darkness, where we were locked to water and thunder element for the rift. However, it was really kind of pushing you to use one element over the other. For example, there was kind of like a doom punishment for using water units in like certain stages. And it kind of took away the versatility of having both thunder and water elements available to you. Matt would like to know if there's a way to make it more about like a choice. Like, I choose to battle with my thunder element, and I choose to battle with my water elements. Like, I don't think he's complaining about being locked to those two elements. It's more about why was this particular element at a clear disadvantage when compared to this other element, when it should be like better balanced. What do you think about that, Rizky?
Right. I think it's a very good observation and comment from Matt. Definitely, we appreciate it. As he pointed out as well, our team actually, like whenever we have a new Frontier Rift, we always try to compare it with the previous one and then see what can be improved, what can be made interesting. And of course, for each Frontier Rift, there will be like a unique mechanic being introduced on it. To give more challenge, because as you guys know, the Frontier Rift is not so much for new players or the mid-level players, but it's more for like our core players who want challenges, like our high-level players who want challenges. So we will take the feedback from it, and hopefully when we are preparing for the next Frontier Rift hopefully in April or May, then we will be more like kind of like mindful on this kind of like setting, give players more choice to what kind of element they want to use. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds fair to me. So thank you, Matt, for that question. Moving on to our last question, number 3 here by Edwin Ivanovich. Edwin is asking about the possibility of a rainbow paradigm. Our elemental paradigms right now only really work when you have a squad that is of the same elements, right? I mean, you need a certain number of units of the same element in order to trigger the paradigm. But paradigm. Sorry.
It's okay.
But then this makes it unusable for certain units. For example, Edwin cites Ezra. Ezra is a unit that, as a leader, she needs more than 5 elements in the squad to be able to trigger, most of her leader skills effects. So she cannot really partake fully in the elemental paradigm and be a successful leader for the squad at the same time. So will there be a possibility of perhaps maybe mixing up some elements in the future?
Yeah, this has been in the talk. I mean, with our game designers as well. I mean, if you guys notice the recent direction of the game itself, like how do we fight challenges or the bosses, they are all catered towards the mono elemental squad. So that is to support our Omni Plus paradigm. So now a Rainbow paradigm, there are quite a number of consideration in terms of a Rainbow paradigm here. It's something that our team is still kind of like working on it. So I couldn't really promise whether we finally will have Rainbow paradigm or not, but it is certainly a valid concern from Edwin regarding Ezra, because those units with we call it Rainbow Leader, like Rainbow Leader skills or something, will not be so much getting the advantage of the elemental paradigm. So yeah, definitely Rainbow paradigm is something that we can consider, but at the moment we are not having any plan on it, but it will still be something that we can consider maybe in the future when we have a new kind of content that support the Rainbow like squad and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you so much, Edwin, for that question. Hopefully we see something in the future, but we'll have to just wait and take a look at what happens. All right, well, that's it for the Summoner's Corner. We're going to move on now to a special message from none other than Mr. Takahashi himself. I'm going to read for you guys the translated version of the message. And I'm not going to do an impression of him, so it's just going to be my normal voice. Don't expect anything crazy out of me, okay? But here it goes. Dear BNC viewers, this is Brave Frontier producer Eiji Takahashi. As always, thank you all for your unconditional support. I would like to take this opportunity to officially share with you that as one more step in the journey of the Brave Frontier franchise, Brave Frontier 2 in Japan will be going on hiatus starting March of 2019. However, please rest assured that Brave Frontier Global will continue to offer new content through regularly scheduled updates, so there is still plenty more for our global players to enjoy. I look forward to meeting you all again someday in a brand new Brave world. All right, so what does this message exactly mean? Well, Brave Frontier 2 in Japan, it's going to stop updating with new content from March 2019. We don't have a specific date in March, but from March on, the app itself will remain open, just like Brave Frontier 1, so you can play the content that is already available. You can get the units that are already there. However, there will be no actual new content being added from that point on for Brave Frontier 2. And understandably, Takahashi-san was worried that global players might think that Brave Frontier 1, for us, Brave Frontier Global, would suffer from this, but he wanted to make it very clear that Brave Frontier Global version will continue, will live on. We will keep adding new features and new updates and new units regularly, and that we do have a lot of content coming up. So, not to worry from this side. Things are just happening the way that they are in the Japan version of things because the franchise itself as a whole has been going on for a very, very long time. And there are just, steps in the life of a franchise that just happen naturally and that we just have to accept as part of the journey of that particular franchise.
That is correct.
And he does say that he is hoping to meet everybody again someday in a brave new world. So in a new brave world, so this is not necessarily like an ending per se. We just don't know when the continuation of the franchise from the Japan side will pick up again. All right, but as we said and as promised, we have a lot of stuff still coming for Brave Frontier Global for 2019, and Risky is going to give you all the details of that upcoming up stuff. So Risky, can you hit us with all the amazing stuff coming up?
Yeah, so really thank you to Shali for explaining the situation and to everyone, and please for our dear players, global version players, please don't worry, global version is still going strong. As usual, as what we mentioned in the producer's letters in the end of the year, this 2019 will be the year of global version going with many different contents, and we have like regular contents that we are currently running, like with Class 7. We have the Frontier Rift, where you guys can enjoy all the story. So because in the Frontier Rift we usually get it to explain to go into a deeper story of each of our global exclusive characters.
Right.
You also will have the Vortex arena for the chance for you to like have a PvP battle between and test your squad against other players. Grand Quest, as mentioned earlier, we are still committed to deliver our global story. So a lot of players are asking like, hey, how do we want like a new story, a new global quest by itself, and our answers to your request or your demand are like on the Grand Quest and Frontier Rift. In Frontier Rift, you focus more on the strategy, really having kind of like a mini trial wave or boss waves by itself. But in the Grand Quest, you can focus more on like understanding the kind of like a deeper explanation about global character story. So yeah, look forward for more stories, and last but not least, the seasonal contents. As you guys know, in global version we have spring, summer, autumn, winter. We have a lot of various seasonal contents that are always planned every year. So look forward for that as well. And on top of the regular contents, we also have, our team is working really hard this year to get more collaborations. So we have a few of them currently in the negotiation phase, and like some of it are in development. But I can assure you guys, we will surprise you with something unique and new.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Even I don't know what that means. Now I'm really excited.
It's not easy to say, because you guys know collaboration is always something that involves like a lot of parties. I can't really mention exactly what it is, because there are like legal terms and stuff that we need to keep on. But what I can say is that our team is not stopping on getting this kind of like exciting collaboration, especially for those kind of franchise that like dear to our players. So I'll let you guys to like maybe shift through the past pollings and stuff, and maybe speculate on what kind of collaboration is coming. But no answer to that.
We're gonna go crazy with our ideas. Our imagination is gonna run wild. You're like, oh my god, it's finally happening.
But our team is really excited on this upcoming collaboration. So there are a few of them on the track. So yeah, just stay tuned for the announcement. And we also are looking through all the quality of life updates and improvements, like small tweaks, adjustment, changes into the game rule, because our game is kind of like old, to be very honest. It's like almost going to the 6 years now.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are based on the based on the design language of the old things, like old games. So a lot of things are our team trying to improve the user experience, the UI itself, and the mechanics. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
So the final thing that we can only give a hint on it, because things are still in the making. So we are going to have a new major feature updates as well, but we can't really say anything for now. So stay tuned on that for more news about that on the next BNC.
Hopefully.
So yeah, very plentiful things to do for global version. So global version is still going strong, like what Shali mentioned earlier. Please don't worry on it. We are committed to give you more contents, updates, collaboration, and of course new things for the game itself. Yeah.
New adventures, because a summoner's adventure is never over. Am I right?
Yes.
Exactly. So, hopefully things just keep moving at a very great pace for at least the global version, and cannot thank Brave Frontier 1 or Brave Frontier 2 enough from the Japan side for just making the world of Brave Frontier a reality for us. Like the reason why Brave Frontier Global exists is because Brave Frontier 1 and now Brave Frontier 2 exist in the Japan side of things. So even if you have never played the Japanese versions of these two games before, we still owe it all to them. So thank you so much to everybody who worked on those projects and just gave it their all, and for every single bit of love that they put into it, because Brave Frontier, it may not be the most famous franchise around the world, but I know for a fact that the people who worked on Brave Frontier just absolutely love that game and the whole franchise as a whole. And they're a very tight-knit group, a very tight team. It's almost like a family, honestly. And so, I cannot be more appreciative of everybody's hard work and of all the fans around the world that have loved Brave Frontier, so much that we're 6 years into this.
Yeah.
Almost.
The support,
and
their support. Yeah,
it's unreal. You don't really hear about many mobile games making it this long, and it's only through the support of the team involved in making it and the support of the players who continue to support it. It's just amazing and unreal. So thank you to everyone involved. We cannot wait to share all of this new content with you guys for 2019. And spring is coming up, so the sun is going to shine, new things are going to grow, the birds are going to sing, and we'll see you on the next BNC.
Bye bye. Thank you.